remember, the army of millions and millions of human beings screwing in little screws to make iPhones, that kind of thing is going to come to America. It's going to be automated, and great Americans, the trade craft of America, is going to fix them, is going to work on them.
That would be like me watching an NBA game being like, oh, it's easy to score a basket. The reality is it's the most complex supply chain in the world. And the way that they have 1.5 billion iPhones and they're able to make them at $1,000 is because of the supply chain that's really been built over the last decade. You build that in the U.S. with a fab in West Virginia, New Jersey, there'll be $3,500 iPhones.
$3,500 iPhones.
And look, that is the true reality of saying it and doing it. It would take Apple $30 billion in 3 years to move just 10% of the supply chain to the U.S.
$30 billion, 3 years to move 10% of the supply chain.
To move 10% of the supply chain.
Leaving 90% over there.
Leaving 90% over there. And for someone like myself that's traveled throughout Asia for decades, the reality of it, it's a fictional tale. And that's why I think you see what's happened to the stock, because no company is more caught up in this tariff, front and center in this Category 5 storm, than Cupertino and Apple, and that's the shame of it.
I mean, you look at you talk about traveling through Asia, and maybe this brings it home. We actually looked at a map to say, where does Apple make iPhones? Where in Asia? I mean, there are hundreds of manufacturing sites in China. We'll throw the map up. Hundreds of them. I mean, it is really stunning. I mean, we're just putting some of them there. Hundreds. I mean, this is actually about much more, as you point out, than cheap labor. I mean, this is massive infrastructure. Were you to transport it here?
But that's almost an impossibility, and that's why the stock is so. Because at the end of the day, the stocks they're not political. They know math and the reality. And when it comes to Apple, this would be, in my opinion, if this actually comes through, this would change the future of Apple, and that's what's so sad to some extent. As an American icon, you could have Beltway talking points, but this is the reality of it.
Okay, Shalom. Shalom. Kwam Yashala. Koholoyim la Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Bahashim Kaha Kwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh to the best of their ability. This is Yahanan Nawaf, just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And let me just grab this one quick scripture, Ecclesiasticus 25:7. It says, there be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and a 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And that's what we're witnessing right now, the fall of our enemy, man. Esau is greedy as hell. That's the reason why these companies left America to begin with, to get cheaper labor. You know what I'm saying? Because they pretty much where a lot of this stuff is made. All this American stuff is made in countries where it's pretty much, man, just child slavery. When people being overall mistreated to make these products, man. You know what I'm saying? And Esau don't give a shit about that. All he cares about is his bottom line. You see, in that greed, it is what's fucking America up. You know what I'm saying? Because these people are not patriotic. If they were so patriotic, they never would have left here to begin with, And that's Esau in a nutshell, you know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about the man that sold his birthright, He wasn't thinking about his family. And he doesn't think about his, but Esau don't think about Esau, man. But that's where the Israelites, see, with the Israelites, we're a body. We're supposed to be, move as a unit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're coming back to in the kingdom. We're going to move as one unit. We're not going to be, all up against each other and, oppressing each other and keeping each other down and all this other shit. No, we're going to be full-fledged, 100% moving like a body. You know what I'm saying? With Yahweh Shai as our head, But see, with Esau, this motherfucker's all over the place, man. You got this one, a breakdown right here. Cracks are beginning to show in the Musk-Trump partnership after Tesla CEO reportedly appeals to White House on tariffs because it's fucking with them. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking with a lot of these companies. Now, They're standing on TV telling the people about how, it's going to bring all these jobs here. You just heard what that guy said, man. If Apple got that many supply warehouses, so to speak, over there in China, and he's telling you that it's going to take $30 billion and 3 years just to move 10% of it, Trump ass will be gone before they can even move 20% of that shit, if that was the case. And then that shit was just shot. These companies is like, you know what? If it would take me that long to move that much of the business back here, then we might as well wait on this motherfucker to go. If that's the case, you know what I'm saying? He's only going to be there for 4 years. But of course, he's pushing to get him a third term. But it's all starting to fall apart, man. And you go off into these comments, people, they just not with it. It's not working out well. Matter of fact, I had another one in here. You go right here. Trump boasts tariffs brought South Korea to the negotiating table, then taunts China. We're waiting for their call. But China is basically like, hey, look, we can rock this shit on out. We can ride it on out. You know what I'm saying? And South Korea, of course, South Korea is just they're an ally to America anyway. You know what I'm saying? So overall, they just being bitched. You know what I'm saying? Being punked anyway, because they have South Korea and North Korea against each other, and South Korea, instead of being that brotherly. Because see, this is what Esau does, man. He causes discord among family, discord among brethren, and the scripture talks about that. Let's get that real quick. So he has put the South Koreans against the North Koreans when they're all just Koreans. They're the same people, but what Esau does, the so-called white man, he comes in and he divides and he conquers. That's the way that he always get down. I mean, everywhere this man go, there becomes separation in the family unit, separation amongst the citizens, a bunch of damn division. He's a person that pushes division, man. This is Proverbs chapter 6. And this is to some of you Christians that believe that the Lord don't hate nothing. Proverbs 6 and 16. Let's start there. It says, these 6 things doeth the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look. That's Esau, so-called white man. A lying tongue. The motherfucker don't do nothing but lie. And hands that shed innocent blood. He's been running throughout the earth, shedding innocent blood, man, for hundreds of years. And it's about time for their little playtime to wrap up, man. The Lord is breaking this place down. It says, in heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift and run into mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. Right? These are the things that the Lord, he finds abominable. So he finds Esau abominable. The scripture says that he loved Jacob, but he hated Esau. And then you got them, your little top, so-called white people at the top. You know what I'm saying? They calling themselves, Israelis and all this other shit. But they're no more than Edomites themselves, and they're at the top, pulling all the strings to wreck America, man. And it's crazy because you go into these comments, these proud ass so-called white people really believe that Trump had their best interest in mind, man. I'm just gonna read what he said. It says, I just had Donald Trump, right? It says, I just had a great call with the acting president of South Korea, and they just got rid of one president. They had a coup over there, trying to pull some American shit. It says, we talked about their tremendous and unsustainable surplus, tariffs, shipbuilding, large-scale purchase of U.S. LNG, their joint venture in an Alaska pipeline, and payment for the big-time military protection we provide to South Korea. See? You all over the place setting up shop. And then you want to, you're mad that you know what I'm saying, the shit that you set up is not working, so to speak. You don't even have no business there. See? Well, why does South Korea need you to defend them? Because you've set up that discord among brethren over there. When you think South Korea would be like, you know what, man, fuck this, bro. We're going to chop it up with my mans over here to the north, and we're going to bring our family back together. And But, hey, here's what it is, man. It says they began this military payment during my first term, billions of dollars, but sleepy Joe Biden, for reasons unknown, terminated the deal. That was a shocker to all. In any event, we have the confines and probability of a great deal for both countries. Their top team is on a plane heading to the U.S., and things are looking good. We are likewise dealing with many other countries, all of whom want to make a deal with the United States, like South Korea. Like with South Korea, we are bringing up other subjects that are not covered by trade and tariffs and getting them negotiated also. One-stop shopping is a beautiful and efficient process. And see, this is the shit that he's saying, but no one is really going to know what's going to be popping until, shit start to unravel, man. People about to be here for a rude awakening, man. Okay, this person says they say over 50 countries, more lives, maybe 4 or 5 countries. Yeah. Israel, the Bibi was here yesterday. He probably still here. He was talking about the 17% tariffs that was on them. They're gonna, they're gonna do their thing and treat America fairly. But motherfucker, you getting billions of dollars off the taxpayers right here in America. They need Doge need to cut y'all asses off. It says the countries negotiating are not the ones that could hurt America's economy. China, Canada, and Mexico are the countries to watch for. Yep, I gotta agree there. Yeah. Says, are you Democrats enjoying the show yet? This is what winning actually looks like, folks. See, these people really believe that this shit is about to be, man. These people have no idea what's coming to this place, man. Somebody says, let's see, winning is the stock market losing $5 trillion in value. Do tell me more. Yeah, because these people are delusional. You got these maggots, running with Trump, and they just don't. They're not gonna see the big picture until it's really just all out civil war here. Somebody says, what good is increasing tariffs if just going to use the money to give back corporations more tax breaks? Yep, it's not going to affect any of you regular citizens. It's not, because they're not even telling you where this money from Doge is going to. You ain't even heard them say anymore about anything else neither. They kind of ran with that for about a week or two. Yeah, we're finding all this waste over here, and we're finding billions being spent over here, and waste over here, and fraud over here. And you ain't been hearing them talk about that no more. And they're not even telling you where this money is going. Like, okay, so you found all this money that's being wasted. Like, what are you doing with it? Like where's it going? And you don't have no proof of what they're actually even saying is the truth, other than them saying it. And you got people like this that's in these comment boards, man, they believe that shit. Yep, somebody says the ones coming to the table are the poorest and most desperate. Give us a break, Trump. Yeah. Says Trump thinks these other countries are afraid of him. He should be careful. But see, that's the pride of America, though. They prided themselves on. He's trying to go back to what. See, this man, he's living. He's doing this shit like he's 20s and 30s. You know what I'm saying? Back in the days when he was living it up and champagne bottles being popped and shit, and he's building new resorts and all this kind of shit. Man, that shit over with, bro. That shit is a done deal, man. Let's get another one in Proverbs. But this is the way that they think. Old prideful ass so-called white people, man, and they're gonna fall flat on their face. And he's so prideful, he'll see the place going under, and still won't back off. Proverbs 16:18. Pride go up before destruction, and a haughty spirit before fall. See, and that's exactly what's about to happen to this place, man. Because it's already in fall mode. Proverbs 11:2. When pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. See, it's gonna be a lot of shame to America, man. People are already laughing at this place. Yep, Proverbs 18:12. Before destruction, the heart of man is haughty, and before honor is humility. And Trump don't have a humble bone in his body, man. Proverbs 29:23. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. And again, this guy doesn't have a humble bone in his body, man. He's not gonna give up, man. He's just gonna ride it on out and gonna lie to the American people as to he's gonna lie all the way to the end, man. Isaiah 2:11. The lofty looks of man shall be humble, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon every one that is proud and lofty, and upon every one that is lifted up, he shall be brought low. You're not going to find a more prideful place than Babylon the Great, man, the great whore. These people are prideful as hell, man. We're proud to be Americans and all this, and jobs are being lost and shit. I just seen another one on where a bunch of layoffs is going on. But anyway, man, you get the point. I guess hey, I guess we'll see. We will see. Either way, it doesn't make any difference because it's still America's gotta fall. That's just prophetic. This place is done, and right now is the best time for it to actually. So we'll see how it all plays out and works out. But this dude, man, is prideful as hell. Some of his people coming up against him now, though, you know what I'm saying? They like, hey, look, all right, well, hey, come on now. Because I guess, a lot of them wasn't expecting to lose the kind of money that they're losing. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. We'll see how it plays out and where to be watchful and prayerful, you know what I'm saying? And just a quick little update on what's popping. Hey, we'll see, man. We're praying for the downfall of this place, though. And you should be doing that on a regular basis, man. Just praying to Yahweh Shai that, this place continues to crumble, man. And that Esau will go ahead and get to it with the extra, with those, with that mark of the beauty and the beast and the World War III. Go ahead and get these things crack-a-lacking, man, so we can get the hell on out of here. So with that, pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Shalom, the Bible Ball.